flyExclusive is a vertically integrated operator of private jet experiences, offering customers on-demand charter, jet club, and fractional jet services to destinations, both domestic and international. So with me is the CEO and Chairman, Jim Seagrave, to tell us more about this. I'm always intrigued by these companies. I do a lot of travel, and it always looks so appealing. So how does flyExclusive work?
Jane, thanks for having me today. We're super excited about being here. And of course, ringing the bell today. We're happy about that as well. And kind of evolving the company and directionally where we want to take this business and continue to grow it. But we're, of course, a private jet provider of, as you said, a club member, which is effectively block time sales, fractional membership. And we also do direct charter, retail, ad hoc, if you will, as you need it flights, and then partnership programs. But the direction of the business, we're really taking it in. And part of the main reason for wanting to take it public was we want to expand the fractional program. We have another $200 million of airplanes, I think, being delivered this year, and will evolve rapidly in that direction of fractional. And what that does for us is allows us to operate new airplanes, very much more reliable aircraft, so less mechanical interruptions for customers. Of course, these airplanes will be under warranty. So it really changes the face of who we are and how the business looks, and allows us to continue in our quest to control all the economics of execution that we have with the business, and vertically integrate the operation, and just another piece of that puzzle as we head that way.
So walk me through how it works, and how affordable is it?
so it's definitely not going to compete with the airlines very well if you think about it just on a dollar basis. But if you're evaluating the cost of your time, and if you're putting, of course, everything about one of our core values is minutes matter. So every minute matters to us, and if you look at it from that standpoint, with the customers that are using us are typically very highly productive people that have very demanding jobs and very demanding schedules, and are also trying to maintain some semblance of a family life or social life or something on top of that. And so people that are working 70, 80 hours a week, and then want to be able to spend time with their families and balance that work time. The difference being, especially for connecting rural America, like where I live. So we're in Eastern North Carolina. And if I want to do a meeting in New York, I can jump on the airplane and be in New York in an hour. Where if I fly commercial, that's a 5-6 hour each way experience. And it means almost always you're going to be doing an overnight, where I can go up, have a 3-4 hour meeting, spend the whole day in the city. I can drop my children off at school before I leave and do meetings all day in the city, and jump back on the airplane and have dinner with them at night. And so it's a
basketball game or something at night.
It's a massive quality of life improvement is really what it does for you. And it's a time machine. It's an incredible difference. And once you start flying that way, you realize how much it adds to that quality of life, and then the cost gets very easy to justify.
Sure,
because it's certainly more expensive than buying a ticket on one of the commercial carriers, but it's not hard to justify once you understand the benefit.
Well, and just the headache of flying too. You've avoided, the airport security, and who knows what kind of things you encounter at an airport these days.
Yeah, the airlines are some of our best salespeople. They push a lot of people into flying private, and it's also one of those things. Once you start flying private, you don't really want to get out of it. If you can afford it, you're going to continue flying private. It's not an easy thing to stop doing.
I can imagine. Now, is it membership based, or how does that part of this work?
You can join it as a membership base, which our committed demand products would be a club membership where you've purchased typically a block purchase. It could be anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000 increments or higher if desired. But typically when someone gets to that level of usage, they eventually more want to look into the fractional space, because that gets to be a more economical use for someone that's flying more hours. So the way you would think about it is you could access the product through retail ad hoc as you go trips. Then you enter the the club program, and typically those are people that are flying 25 to 50 hours a year. When you get to 50 hours a year, someone's typically buying a fractional product share of an airplane. They could be customers that fly 50 to maybe 100 hours a year. And then the next level would be a partnership program where you've purchased the entire airplane and want to fly 150 or so hours a year and have access to a full fleet. So it's kind of the different tiers of how you access what we've got.
That makes sense. Where all do you fly to?
We've got a worldwide certificate so we can fly anywhere in the world. We've got 104, 105 airplanes. I guess it's terrible. I can't tell you exactly, but it's right in that ballpark. There's roughly 95 of those are citations, and 7 airplanes are Gulfstreams. So the Gulfstreams can fly all over the world. The citations could as well, but it's not really a practical airplane for making those stops. So even though we have the worldwide certificate, of the bulk of our fleet, over 90% of it is primarily North America. So the lower 48, Canada, South America, and the Caribbean, we do the bulk of our flying.
Mm-hmm. And how big of a market is this now, and how big could it be?
What's nice about where we sit in the market is we only have about 2% of the market share. And so when we think about how we want to grow the business, it's not based on the market growing or really necessarily the size of the market. We think about it as taking market share. All the experts suggest that the market's going to grow another 40% over the next, I think, 3 to 4 years, which would be great. That'll be icing on the cake for us. But our business plan isn't developed based on an increasing market size. We are fully taking market share and have done that since we started the business just under 9 years ago.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned you own more than 100 planes. So those are owned by the company, right?
So in the fractional program, you sell the shares to two owners, and then we operate those airplanes, which is really an asset light model for us as well. Very, very efficient use of capital, because this is a very capital intensive business, and in part why we wanted to take the company public today is we want to continue to grow that business, but we've got to buy those airplanes. Then we sell the fractions out to customers, and then eventually all of the customers own the airplanes, and we operate those airplanes for them.
Now, you mentioned you went public, so congratulations. That's a huge milestone for any company. What's next for flyExclusive?
Yeah, I've been telling everybody, and even in the brief remarks I gave today, that this was just a milestone on our journey, and by no means the destination. I didn't redeem one share of stock. I'm in this for the long haul. Very excited about the business. Very much believe in its future and where we're trying to take it. I think we can be one of the major players in the space, and that's kind of what we want to do. And so we're not necessarily trying to be the biggest operator. We're just trying to be the best one and do it efficiently and make money. With going public, we're not going to do anything a lot different. We're going to invest in airplanes. We're going to invest in tech and our people, but we're not going to lose our discipline that got us to where we are today and go start doing a bunch of acquisitions or complicate the business. We're going to stay very, very consolidated and run an efficient business. Keep doing what's got us to this point.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Jim, for coming and explaining flyExclusive, and best of luck to you.
Hey, Jane, thank you so much for having me. Anytime. I'd love to do it again, but thanks again. You have a great day.
Thank you.